SARS-CoV-2 variant which was identified, and the data which has come in is there is infectivity, but there's no scientific data yet to show us that. It has 17 mutations. In fact, if you look at the last point, this is just in the paper that came out, the report that came out just yesterday. They have renamed it, and now they say that there are about 23 mutations to it with additional 6 synonym mutations. But if you look at it, there are 8 mutations in the RBD spike protein. And here, what we are trying to see is that how would the vaccines impact it? We are seeing vaccines produce antibodies against many regions. So it's unlikely that small changes would impact the effectiveness of the vaccine as it moves forward. But what are we doing to try and see how we handle a situation if it comes into that? The next slide, please. This, of course, I'm just giving you a computer modeling study which has been done to say that the spike proteins in the new UK variant, where is it really, where are the mutations? And these are indicated in red to my left. If you see, those are the mutant points which they are indicating. But when they've done the computer modeling study, and this is the data which has come out from the UK studies from their large consortium, they don't substantially affect the antibody accessibility as assessed by the computer modeling. So keeping this data behind us, in the last slide I would like to tell you what is it that we are doing in preparation. As was informed a couple of days back, as soon as this UK variant information came, we have launched within the country the Indian SARS-CoV Genome Sequencing Consortium, the Ministry of Health, the Department of Biotechnology, the ICMR, and the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research have come together. 10 laboratories have been identified where this genome sequencing work is being done. And the effort is that, of course, the travelers over the last 1 month who have come back, and all that data has already been shared with you, what is going to be the strategy, how it's being mapped. We are also now trying to see that once we get this data, and this has already begun. In fact, as today we speak, the number is 71. That is the number which has been reported today for the UK variants, which have been identified across all these different laboratories. But I think it is also important for us to see that once we are getting this, it's not just this particular variant which is coming from the UK travelers. It is important for us as we move forward to do a continuous genome sequencing of the samples of our positive samples, and that is what has been already positioned within this consortium. We are targeting looking at the 5% of the positive samples as we move forward. It will also, this consortium will also focus if there are certain sudden events that are known, if there are clusters where you see high levels of infection, those samples will also be taken up for sequencing. We are also making an effort now to study what is going to be the impact of these vaccines and the diagnostics as well on this UK variant. So the virus, already the laboratory 2 viral repository centers are notified, the NIV Pune and the Regional Center for Biotechnology at Faridabad. Virus is being isolated and cultured. Assays are being developed so that these vaccines can then be run through these assays to know how are they behaving. It is also proposed that we would incorporate these mutations into the VLP, the virus-like particle models, and compare these changes in the immunogenicity, if there are any, in the animal model. Plus, it is also now planned in the science and the research group to synthesize that spike gene with mutations, investigate these changes through these cryo-EM structures so that we understand the whole structure of this mutation and see what impact it will have moving ahead. So this is really our preparedness to see how we would want to bring in these new technologies to help us to be prepared proactively if there is any other variant that is either noticed within our sampling strategy, or if we get to know about any variant coming up from any other country. We've heard about the UK, there is also news about South Africa now. So it will help us to prepare for this. So this is what we would like to present to you in terms of the science that is happening around this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I invite member Health Niti Aayog, sir.
पहला इंटरेक्शन ऑप्टिमिस्टिक सिनेरियो इमर्ज हो रहा है, उम्मीद दिलाता है, सेटिस्फैक्शन दिलाता है। सबसे पहले हमारी पैंडेमिक की सिचुएशन, महामारी की सिचुएशन इज कंसिस्टेंटली इम्प्रूविंग। Indicators in terms of active cases are declining, new cases are declining, deaths have stabilized and declining, they are close to 200. So there is a good news on that front, and let's hope this trend will continue and it will be further accelerated. Secondly, in terms of the UK mutant issue, so far we are holding. This mutation has entered this country for sure. We are picking up these variants. 71 have been isolated, which shows our capacity to mount that kind of a scientific investigation. But at the same time, right now we have not seen any emergence of any untoward cluster as of now. So reassuring, so far so good. Thirdly, above all, on the vaccine front, there are fascinating developments, positive developments, developments that make us feel very proud. And I think one information that has got less attention is what Dr. Renu Swarup pointed out, that our fourth vaccine has now moved into phase 3 trials. And that is again India vaccine, as you know, on a very difficult and a new and a novel platform, the DNA platform. I think that's one news that you should all celebrate and kindly bring to the attention the innovation